Now, the other issue dominating the national conversation right now, the increase in deadly mass shootings. Is there any way for schools and churches, stores, hospitals, and businesses to plan and prepare for these kinds of attacks? Taylor Jackson has our report.
There have been more than 200 mass shootings within the last 6 months in the United States, leaving many Americans feeling unsafe at work, school, and even church. Having a crisis management and communication plan can better prepare a company's employees for what to do during a crisis.
You have to be prepared so that you can respond quickly, ethically, and effectively to a crisis.
Professor Sherry Johnson teaches crisis and ethical communication at the University of Central Oklahoma. She says crisis communications and crisis management have similar objectives. Crisis management focuses on prevention, preparation, and training. Crisis communication focuses on collecting and processing information that is released to the public.
You need to have a list of people who would be involved. So, in other words, if there is a crisis and we have to enact the plan, who are the key people in the organization that will be involved in disseminating information?
That type of coordinated, accurate response was on display following the shooting last week at St. Francis Hospital in Tulsa. But it was clearly lacking the week before when 21 people were murdered in Uvalde, Texas.
Certainly don't want everybody in the organization to speak to it. You don't want everybody posting and going on the news and that sort of thing, because it means that it looks like you're not ready for it. It looks like you didn't control the situation.
Goodwill CEO Jim Priest says preparing for a crisis is important in order to help protect employees.
We wanted to make sure first that our employees and our customers were as safe as possible from whether it's storms or intruders or electrical crises.
Priest and his team work together to formulate a crisis response plan to better assist their staff when an emergency occurs.
You can't, of course, plan for every contingency, but we've tried to think ahead about everything that conceivably could happen. We put together an incident command system book.
Priest says when creating the plan, they kept both their corporate offices and stores in mind.
So we've tried to make sure that people are trained ahead of time for the variety of different things that they might experience.
Goodwill regularly performs emergency drills that reinforce key elements of employee response.
I think training and just getting it so it's becoming a second nature response will help you in times of crisis, because most of the times in a crisis we're not thinking that clearly and we want to go to habit.
Those drills range from active shooter to severe weather.
We do all types of drills, including weather, like fire, tornado, power outages, even preparing for earthquakes, even though we don't have that many serious earthquakes here.
Woods says emergency plans should always be clearly communicated between all employees.
It's all about communication and training, so just making sure that they know where all their exits are, where they can go to shelter in place if there's anything that happens, and also just maintaining that relationship with law enforcement and making sure that they know the layout of your building as well.
I spoke with the Safety and Security Department here at OSU OKC, and they told me that they advise students and staff to stay vigilant around campus.
See something, say something. If you see somebody and you get a feeling that it's somebody in a black trench coat, acting suspicious, then just give us a call and we'll go check it out.
Safety Director Darvin Gore says they provide multiple safety resources for students and staff, including a safety fair and active shooter training.
We do training events every year. We have videos online for active shooter drills, and if departments feel the need, they can individually come to us and we will do training for their individual departments.
Gore and his department also monitor the entire campus 24/7 with the help of the Oklahoma City Police Department. OSU OKC follows the Run, Hide, Fight guidelines, which can be found on the National Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency website.
If you're able to run and get to safety, do that. Run as fast as you can, as far as you can, until you're safe. If you're unable to run, then you hide, barricade yourself.
Gore says never hide in plain sight and to put as many objects as possible between you and the shooter.
The final one would be the fight, and we only do that as a last resort. If you have no other options, then you just got to do what you got to do to keep yourself alive.
It's recommended that businesses and organizations update their crisis management and communication plans every year. Taylor Jackson, the Oklahoma News Report.